Hi, and welcome to our video series to help you professionally photograph your 3D artwork with your phone from wherever you are with whatever supplies you have on hand. First, you need to locate a space at home or in your dorm room that is well lit and has room for you and your artwork. Depending on the size of your 3D work, your setup can include a table, or you can just use the floor to support your piece. Make sure your spot gives you enough space around the work so other objects don't cast shadows. You also want to have enough room for you to be able to move around to properly capture the image. Lighting is the most critical. Here are some tips to get you started thinking about lighting. First, look for a place that has a good source of sunlight. Ideally, north windows offer overcast, non-direct light. If the light from the window is too bright, you can tape up some white tissue paper or tracing paper on the window to help diffuse the light. This decreases the chances of bright, hot spots on your work. If the weather permits, photographing around noon on a cloudy day is the best because the clouds naturally diffuse and soften the light. If you need to, you can also use lamps to help light your piece. We'll go over lighting in more detail in our next video. Now that you've located the best space with good lighting, let's go over what supplies you need and how to set up the background for your 3D work. Here are the supplies you need to make this happen. At the minimum, you need your phone, some masking or painter's tape, and either a roll of neutral colored paper or a neutral colored cloth that is wrinkle-free. Flatbed sheets are perfect for this. Steam or iron out all wrinkles before you hang it up. Yes, this does take time, but it produces professional results. Here's two types of options for what your setup space will look like. One demonstrates using a coffee table to display your piece, the other the floor. Now onto the steps of setting up your space. Take your wrinkle-free sheet or roll of paper and attach it to the wall so it smoothly drapes over a table or the floor. Use quite a bit of blue painter's tape or a few push pins if you are attaching this to a painted drywall. If you are in a dorm and have painted cinder blocks, you can use command strips. Make sure the fabric or paper creates a small curve for a smooth transition. You want to avoid having it bunched up, pressed along the wall, or creating abrupt horizon lines where the wall and the table or floor meet. Weigh down the edges if needed so the background won't slip. If you are draping the fabric or paper on the floor, be sure to wear clean socks and remove your shoes so you don't stain your background when you place and rotate your work. Finally, place your 3D piece in the middle of the fabric or paper and position it for the best view. Let's take a look at some examples. Here's an example of a good photography setup. It has natural light from a north-facing window. It uses a mostly wrinkle-free flat sheet draping away from the wall to create a smooth curve. The flat sheet is taped up and weighed down. It uses lamps to help add additional lighting, and the piece is set in the middle of the sheet. This is an example of a bad photography setup, and therefore leads to a bad photo of the piece. While it does use natural light, it's coming from a south-facing window on a sunny day, which causes both direct light and shadows from outside. No flat sheet or roll of paper is used. We can see everything in the room, and therefore causes distraction from the piece. We can even see the photographer's shadow in the picture. Some of the shadows are on the work itself, which causes uneven lighting of the piece. Now that you have space and artwork ready to photograph, we can move on to adjusting the lighting and photographing your work. Watch those videos to see the next steps.